Recording. JJ, you recording? Okay. All right, take one.
So if I can just introduce myself, my name's Maxine Buttery. I work as the Employability and Progression Manager at West Nottinghamshire College. So I look after the Careers Service, the Work Placement Service, and also the industry placement side of work placement. It's really important that students go out on a work placement. It is actually a mandatory part of their college course, but more so than that, most of our students can come and learn all the technical skills in the classroom. But what we have to think about are the students' next steps, whether that be going into an apprenticeship, into employment, or even onto university. What information can they put down on the CV, future applications, or even the UCAS personal statement? Most employers out there are looking for experience, and that's the reason why college courses now have an embedded section of work placement hours. Really important when they go for interviews to talk about that experience and also learn about the world of work. Where are the skills required? Have a look round, see which job they particularly would like to do when they go out on work experience. Is it a shock? Would a student change their mind about the kind of job role that they've been thinking of doing? There's so many benefits. Many of our students might be a little bit nervous, but the employers aren't expecting the students to be able to literally pick a job role up. They're there to kind of watch and learn and shadow and learn about their industry sector. When students start college, there is a range of support services, and one of them being the work placement team. So every campus site has a dedicated work placement advisor which supports that particular subject area. This allows the students to find out a little bit more about any work placement opportunities that we've created. So the work placement team work tirelessly to engage with employers and create new work placement opportunities. However, we also want to support students to self-place. It's really important that students build up the skills to actually look for those kind of job role opportunities, apply for them, using all the skills of kind of sending a CV, following it up, using the telephone, or even popping into employers. These skills are going to be used in the future. The work placement advisors offer one-to-ones, so we'll speak with a student, ask if there's any kind of challenges. It may be feeling a bit nervous to ring employers, so we can support with that. It may be looking at other options, employers that they haven't really thought about. In addition, we go into tutorials and we will provide information about the work placement process. So what to do when you find a placement, some hints and tips, and also how to use our work placement app to record hours and their experiences. So some of the tips that the work placement team suggest for students to find a placement is obviously to look at parents and carers and friends and family. Most of them, obviously, working out in the local community, could they actually create some opportunities for them? I suppose we've often found that where there's a personal introduction from a friend of the family, it really does open up those doors and creates opportunities. There is a lot of competition out there, so that support from friends and family. That might be, for example, for some of our motor vehicle students, if the family have got 2 or 3 cars, where do they take that car to the garage to do the MOT? So you've got a great contact there. For our hairdressing students, you know, which salon does mum or an auntie go to? And could we actually, you know, start a conversation with them to support? So as well as kind of friends and family, there's also kind of social media. Most students probably use the mobile phones. Have got lots of contacts in the phones. Again, could you use that to say that you are looking for a work placement that's going to be relevant to your course? Because remember, we want the placement to be relevant and meaningful in the industry sector you want to go into, because this is going to help you in the future. So there's lots of tips. In fact, we have a range of emails in the work placement team where we can kind of give you advice and guidance of how to kind of approach employers, making sure that that email has got some really good content as why they should consider you for a work placement. In addition to the service that we offer, we've invested in what I would class as a 21st century work placement app. We know that most students use their mobile phones a lot of the time, and this work placement app enables our students to go on placement, record the hours that they're doing on placement, but more so to be able to record their experiences. And all students will have a number of technical targets to meet when they're on work placement. This allows the students to record evidence of meeting those targets. We have many of our students that have taken photographs of the work. So, for example, some of our brickwork students that have been to a local site, they capture some of the great work that they've done and upload this to the mobile phone work experience. The benefits are that when our students then go for interviews, whether it be for part-time jobs or employment or apprenticeships in the future, they can print out their experiences on placement and share that with the employer. And we found that that has, a great deal of impact. In addition to that, there's a health and safety section on the work placement app. So students will run through that with the employer on their first day as part of their induction. And lots of things like the location of the employer and also providing feedback. Not only feedback from the student on how they've done and met their work placement technical targets, but also feedback is sent from the employer. And this allows our students to kind of learn some of the things that they've done really well, but also some of the things that they may need to improve on. So employer expectations are really important, particularly for students to kind of understand if they haven't been on any work experience before. They are moving out of the education world and the classroom into a real industry placement. So we do obviously advise students to just think about the expectations of the employers. For example, being on time. This means having a think about where the place of work is, perhaps even going the week before to just do a practice run, making sure that the bus routes are running so they get there very promptly. Making sure you've got contact details to let the employer know if you are running late. So punctuality, attendance. Remember, these employers are kind of giving their time up to support our students and let you into their industry. So I suppose one of the main things is don't let them down at the first hurdle. Show them that you're keen and interested. It's really important that students understand the expectations of employers when undergoing a placement. So the college met with a group of local employers and we asked about work experience, work placement. And they came back with some kind of key criteria. So they wanted students to already have had a really good attendance at college, 95%, punctuality, 95%. Behaviour and attitude being very positive. Obviously, going into their working environment, into their industry, we really need to make sure that our students are going into that placement as an adult with the right behaviour. So we created this framework so that it can be shared with students. So when we go into tutorials, any work placement opportunities that we have, and again, we post those to students' mobile phones, we do request that our students meet that employability standard framework And we make a kind of a promise to our employers that we will check that our students meet that criteria, because these are going to be their expectations when students do leave college and move on into employment. So the college also have a dedicated careers service. The careers team are qualified professionals and they can see students at any time. It's a free service. Students can pop in to see the careers team. The main office is based at Derby Road. However, we do travel out to the other campus sites and we offer full 1-hour interventions. So many students may come to college but still aren't quite sure which direction they want to go into. What are the options open to them? Is it going on to university? Is it an apprenticeship? Is it a degree apprenticeship? They may want a gap year, employment. So lots and lots of different options available to them. And, we encourage students to use that service. We have a dedicated email, which is careers@wnc.ac.uk. Really easy to remember. Just pop an email to us, say that you want a meeting, and the students will be contacted and arrange a time to see the careers team that fits in with their timetable. We also have, as part of that service, a careers app. So we have a work placement app that students can use on the mobile phone. But also, as part of that, there's a career platform. So we often receive lots of information. For example, Kingsmill Hospital updated me yesterday about some of the roles that they've got kind of skill shortages in. So I've been able to kind of share that directly, for example, with our health and social care students. So they're kept up to date with that kind of key labour market information. If there are apprenticeship events or university open days, again, it enables us to get that information directly to our students. So I would advise students to keep a note on their kind of GrowFar app, which is the careers and work placement platform. Look out for those notifications. In addition to that, the careers team deliver tutorials. So that might be a UCAS tutorial, help with personal statements, and also they create a range of careers and employability tutorials that the tutors deliver during your during the student tutorial programme. So it's quite wide ranging, but any student that isn't sure about where they want to progress or even help with CVs, part-time jobs, please pop in to see the careers team or again, email them on careers@wnc.ac.uk. I think it's important for students to also know about industry placements. So all of our students have to do their kind of standard work placement. But in addition, there's an opportunity to extend that placement and do what we class as an industry placement, which is 45 days over 1 academic year or over 2 academic years. Industry placements are really important because it enables students, particularly that may want to go on to an apprenticeship, to really spend some time in that industry sector and build up those experiences. What we've actually found is that many students that have done an industry placement of 45 days have been offered apprenticeships. They've often been kind of, I suppose, it's been a trial for the employers to see what those students are like. And we've had, as I say, students that have been employed or then offered an apprenticeship as a result. There are some educational reforms that are happening called technical or T-levels, and they'll be they're part of a kind of a technical revamp, if you like. And in the future, college courses will have a really high element of work placement. So it's looking about 20% of your standard college course will be going on industry placement. So I'd really encourage students to think about the benefits of that. Most employers that see a student that's just done 1 week in industry compared to receiving an application from a student that's done something like 45 days, often those applications are taken a little bit more seriously and might get to the top of the pile to be seen for a further interview. So the college have a robust careers programme. That includes one-to-one interventions. All our students can access information, advice and guidance support from our professionally qualified advisors. In addition to that, we offer a range of tutorials, careers-related tutorials, employability-related tutorials. There are trips and visits that are generated within each curriculum area. And as well as that, we have employers that come into college and speak to our students. The employer encounters are really important to get that kind of direct information, advice and guidance. And also, a key element is that work placement, so that students, while they're in college, they aren't only getting that information, advice and guidance, but they're also getting out into industry as well. And that kind of really captures the whole careers programme. And this is a cross-college effort, so it's not just the careers team that deliver that, the work placement team support with work placement, but tutors and curriculum. We have great links with Nottingham Trent University and other key providers, including the Careers and Enterprise Company. And we work alongside all of those to generate lots of virtual opportunities and also direct opportunities speaking with local employers and organisations.